So, going through the team lists, we spoke about Mayfo, Aldrit, DuPont, Intermac, Mofana. That was the other player that I spoke of who was playing for Montpellier that I really rated during Euros in the top 14. And then Billy Barry on the one wing, Pinot not on the other wing. But very uneducated with the Welsh team. Pro, two players, only got 11 caps between them. Not enough experience in the second row. Their loose trio, Wainwright obviously with the 50 caps. Williams will have to hold the front and scrum off. He's got the experience. Watkins and Tompkins, and then Josh Adams and Williams at the back there, with the new youngster Rogers holding up the front for the. You are doing territorial kicking to regain possession of the ball, so you're doing a contestable kick. 9 times out of 10, it's coming from the scrum off, or it's coming from the 10 in forms of a distance up and under, which can hold its space in the air for 5 seconds. You don't have the correct process of knowing when is it time to do a contestable kick, or whether you have it pre-planned in your head. If it's not going to work, you're gonna get a turnover. At the moment, Ramos doing a fantastic territorial kick, but he didn't do a contestable territorial. He put it right down into their 22. Great decision-making skill by the Welsh. Number 11, Josh Adams, the experience there. Decision-making skills on the spur of the moment. Quarter of the first half. So what I would say is that both teams are effectively using their opportunities in their attacking plan. I wouldn't say there's any issues there. The only thing I would say is that both teams need to realize that they are at the moment both ready to play really good test match rugby. So any mistakes or handling errors or loss of possession, the opposition will counter you, but you have to then rotate into defensive mode a lot quicker on both sides, because they attack so quickly and so hard. You're losing, on average at the moment from what I've seen in this game, 20 to 30 meters per counter attack, whether it be a territorial kick or whether it be just clearing the ball and playing it with ball in hand. Good attacking play, kick pass, effective. Just coming up to the end of the 20 minutes, and that's what I said. You lose possession of the ball. This is test match rugby now. Guys will counter attack on you, and it'll be this. You can't kick contestable kicks if you're not going to get possession of the ball. If you know that. Bele Barry from Bordeaux now scores another one for the French. Came from. Talk about. This is 3 things. You don't want your team to get too confused. I think Wales are playing really well at the moment. The stats show that they're holding 50% of the ball. They're losing on the territorial game. So the French are dominating them in parts of the field. So they need to just be patient in terms of wanting to use energy effectively in the French territorial area. Don't play in your own half. Yes, you've lost a critical player in the first 30 minutes of a test match, but looking at a lot of the stats, it's so number 1, hold on to possession of the ball when you're attacking, and also look at your territorial. So this is the kicking game. From an attacking perspective, when you got ball in hand, try not to play too statically, like rather play with a bit more aggressiveness towards the line. The top of my head right now, I wouldn't say there are defensive issues. They made 90 and they've missed 11. So I think they've been doing really hard work defensively. 8% tackle success. I think you can go into the second half with a lot of confidence, even though it's 14-0 down. You're still in this game. Just don't be despondent. I think the French would probably find more frustration is that they haven't gotten over the line a lot more, because of the connectivity that they already have with the team. So my 3 points for them is stop losing possession of the ball in critical moments. Let's not be inconsistent with our arrival into the opposition 22. When we arrive, we need to convert points, whether it be 3 or 5. Every single time we arrive, let's be clinical and critical about that point. Like, let's score points. And then And don't allow the Welsh team too much time with the ball and too much momentum, because first half, so some things could change, but that's ultimately the messages that I would be giving across. Yeah, Mr. Rogers, you're learning. You're growing, buddy. This is now the third opportunity that they have to convert their territorial attack into points. They've been in the Welsh 22 now for 3 separate set piece occasions, and they haven't converted yet. So the Welsh are holding, even though it's 3 tries to nothing, the Welsh are holding them up defensively. So they got to find a connection. Oh, that's stolen. Oh, hands on the floor first. Okay, so we end the first half with 4 tries to the French, 0 to the Welsh. But I will say that last try that the French got, that was a lot of hard work that they had to do in order to get over the try line against the Welsh. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Right, we're kicking off the second half. How could they do that? Got to look after your ball. You're in the 22. For any analytical guy or even skills coaches, your fundamental of rugby is ball in hand. In the contact point, don't lose the ball. If you work on those things over and over again, it'll literally be a Karate Kid scenario, wax on, wax off, and the frustration will kick in. But the value of those things in these critical moments, this is test match rugby we're speaking of, it's so frustrating for any coach I can imagine. If you've worked so hard, you maintain that, just look after it. Be diligent, be purposeful. Come on, Wales. Make this a game. Oh, we tippy toe into the contact point. Yes! Lose possession of the ball. Oh, critical moments, guys. Okay, Wales are in their zone. They got to hold on to the ball now. Second opportunity to get points in the second half. Got to convert. Just hold on to the ball now. You fought so hard. Oh, ball stolen. He's lying on the wrong side. Oh, come on, Wales. Make this a game. No! You kick it straight into his hands, and he kicks it 60 meters. So we are final 20 minutes of the game. Wales are making subs. It's 33-0. Wales in this first part had multiple occasions to turn around the opportunities. And when the scoreline reads just slightly differently, there could be a spark. If it was 33-7, it could have been could have gone 33-14, could have maybe gone to 33, maybe 33-20 plus and given some light. It's all just momentum building, that's all it is. But when you lose possession of the ball in such critical parts of the field through silly mistakes, it's the most frustrating thing. As an analytical person looking at it, and I'm sure for the players, they also feel it and completely digging that hole again when the individual is probably already frustrated with that. But it just proves the point that when you look at skills coaches and coaches who are focusing on the technical stuff, and you as a player kind of start to ignore it, or even at a younger age, you as a coach who are trying to instill certain qualities to a player, don't forget about the fundamental skills, because they are literally the bread and butter of critical moments in the game. About 62 minutes in, 33-0 to the French. They are 5 tries. They have advantage and they lose possession of the ball. So French just scored there, and that passage of play there in the 67th minute, great example of having great fundamental skills and being able to use them effectively because you're confident in the fact that it's going to work. I mean, I think there was maybe 3 passes out the back, 1, 2 to finish it, and 23 scores in the corner. Yeah, 6 tries in now. Yeah, coming to the last 10 minutes now, it's just fight. Wales, they're doing a lot more passing, and their success rate is still sitting at 84%, where the French's tackling success has gone up by 2% at 94%. Set piece stuff, Wales losing their lineouts more often than the French. On those one, nothing's changed. Rucks one, pretty even. Passes, pretty even. Gain line carries are more coming from the French than the Welsh, which is what I spoke about earlier. I did mention that. I said it felt like it was very static. No one was penetrating the line. So, those kind of stats can show you those tiny little things in Test match rugby. But those are the big differences. And for this example, that's a 6 tries to 0 difference. Mac got a red card. That's the end of the game for him. Point I got now because it's been a straightforward game for the French. The Welsh did try. They had momentary opportunities, but they just didn't convert. Couldn't convert, and I'll come back to it again. Very static in the attacking line. I wouldn't say there's massive issues in their defensive system. There were just holes in the integrity of the shape of the line. So because someone wasn't there, the French would take opportunities on that. Success rate on the tackles, you could talk about their defensive stuff. Also the kicking game, it was trying to play contestable territory. And if you don't have still to this day, I would say, there are some competitors, but the security that Australia had in Israel Folau, getting up and contesting the ball and sometimes always winning it, is a no-brainer. So can't be doing out the back doors if you've got no momentum in the 80th minute of the game. And I think good consistency with the French. Besides those halftime commentary moments that I had to advise, I think the second half, I think they just held their grit. Defensively, they showed up and disallowed Wales any momentum, especially when they entered into their 22. Wales, I would just say they just lost the word that I have in my head right now is chutzpah. There's 100% a more formal word to think of and use when you are debriefing your team to get them prepared for next week. And you got to work through these things. Nothing is perfect, although you would want it to be. And I say that all the time. Like I said, thanks so much for sticking around. That's the game.